What's up, guys? Who needs meta here? And Mary Jankmas. It looks like my Spaceship Edison deck won the poll that we did for the last deck of the week. So we're gonna get right into the list. It's a really fun deck that utilizes a lot of like battle phase tricks and kind of dumb shenanigans in order to get a bunch of tokens or do other supplemental effects. But mostly it's just summoning tokens. The main guy that we're summoning tokens, this is the one that summons a token because it's the only thing it can do. The other ones have other effects, but this one is 1700, and that's why you max it out because it's the biggest one. You obviously want it to be bigger, but you know this deck sucks, so that's why we're here and why we're playing it. They're all light machines, so there's fun stuff that you can play because it's a machine and because it's light. The next card is 2 copies of Lord British. It pops set cards, it summons tokens, but the most important effect is the machine gun effect where it just can keep attacking. I believe it later got reruled to where it can only make 1 additional attack, but at this time in Edison, and there's actually been some debate about whether or not it was reruled before or after, but at this point in time, it can just keep going and going and going. So this card, plus a few other cards, can do a lot of fun stuff. Jade Knight. Yeah, it's the searcher. This is again, it has the face up text as opposed to this is the one where it's errated for the better later on, so it's technically worse here, where it has to be face up in order to search stuff. But you can summon this card off of Angel and then being able to search your guy, and that's you can get to your big guy if you really need to get there. But you have other cards that can kind of mitigate that. So we're only playing 1 just because it's like the card you summon off of the card you summon essentially, and then Victory Viper, this pops face up, spells and traps. So basically this is your like, I'm gonna pop oppression. There is some cute stuff where the token is always the same attack as it. So you can do goofy stuff with like limiter removal in order to like buff it. And then the token is buffed too. So you have more guys if you don't have the space fighter. But yeah, Victory Viper, probably the worst one. But again, you need like an out to oppression because you're playing big guys. They're all machines, so we're just going to play the Machina package. I feel that it does, I don't know, it supplements the deck really well. You have some like natural reborns in it besides Force. Again, they're all like level 4, so 2 of them can turn into this. You have 3 copies of Gearframe to search it out. This can also protect your other guys when you do like your limiter removal shenanigans where you can like equip and then this dies instead, so that's another important thing to do. And then the one Force, people ask like, how do you summon Force? You don't. It's just Reborn. It's just Monster Reborn for Fortress. That's really all it is. So is this, but it's not searchable. But because they're all light machines, you can do this with like as funny board wipes. So you have this. When it's bad, it's a Reborn for Fortress. When it's good, it can do its thing. So 2 Cyber Eltanins. The card just works. Unfortunately, it does because it's a question mark get hit by deck dev in this format, so be careful that didn't get changed until like 2012-ish. So yeah, this card and like Trag are still susceptible to deck devastation virus, which we're seeing more and more of. The card that's super susceptible to that card is 3 Shining Angel. Thankfully, like the Machina package also insulates you from DDV, so like it's not a super good side deck card against you. It doesn't hit the best machine, and it doesn't hit the best spaceship. So that's the important part. And it doesn't hit Gearframe either, which is also probably the best machine, for being honest. But yeah, this gets to most of your guys. I also opted to play 1 Cyber Valley for when you needed to slow things down. And, you know, like stall if it's the last guy. They attack, summon it, and then end the battle phase, draw a card, do your thing. I also am playing 1 Econ in the deck as of right now. It was a last-minute addition to where I decided to go with Econ. I just thought the card was good. Because you can use the defense position effect like similar to what you would do with Book of Moon. Book of Moon is more versatile than Econ. It protects your fortresses from Bottomless and stuff like that, but we'll talk when we get there. And then 1 copy of DD Warrior Lady. Again, it's nice to have some removal that you can get off of Angel. These are important. Cyber Valley also being a machine you can pitch for Fortress when it stinks and you want to normal summon other monsters is important. This is the other really fun battle phase trick that we have that works really well with Lord British being 2 copies of Honest. It just, again, you just use it on, you attack the biggest thing, get the biggest attack boost you can, and then just keep blowing stuff up and doing stuff. No really weird stuff where like trying to give them like an attack position monster where you can like ram into or something. Nothing like that. No weird strats. But again, the card is just really important and really good, and because they're all light machines, it works out. They're all light, so you can even use this on like Warrior Lady and Angel if you really, really need to. And then the last monster is Gorz, because we're not playing a bunch of stuff. Also important to note that the token is light fairy, so you can use Honest with the Gorz token. We'll get into the spells. That is 24 monsters. We did talk about this already, but the 1 copy of Limit Removal, it's one of our Battle Phase tricks, along with our 2 copies of Shrink. These can be used as like a defensive option. You can actually use them to defend your fortress if they try and bottomless it. You can do stupid stuff like make Whirlwind whiff if you really need to. I don't think really that's important. It's mostly just to be able to get your battle phase stuff. I was playing 3, but this is what I ended up cutting for the 1 enemy controller. I debated if I wanted to go to 3 Shrink, 1 Econ, and then cut a Book, but I feel like Book is just the better card than Shrink. Econ works well with Valley, and it still has the defense position. I can run over your Guy effect. And it's the only reason we have to play an extra deck, because we don't play any tuners. We don't play BrainCon. We're not capitalizing off of any of those. We did talk about this, the 3 Book of Moon. I just think the card is good. It's good defensively. Again, you could do it with Whirlwind. You can do it with other stuff. You could use it to protect Fortress. You can use it to protect from Mirror Force. But it's mostly just to help run things over. And so are these, just that staple heavy space. And on to the traps. 7 traps here, we're even 40. The best trap, 1 Dustshoot. 1 call. Again, we're so battle phase centric that even like summoning a guy in the battle phase is really good. Just being like, you don't have game, then call Fortress attack. You do have game. Is pretty clever, especially if you're like they're trying to like line up Gorz on your biggest guy, and you put them under 25, and they're like, oh yeah, I'll save it for whatever guy like a Gearframe or something. I'll save it for the 18. That'll be my biggest one, and then boom, you hit him with the call and attack for game. Done that a few times. Mirror Force. 2 copies of Bottomless. You kind of need this so you don't get Chimeratech. The tokens can't be, but like, I mean, it's a Fortress deck. Like, that card is going to be relevant against you, so you try not to get Chimeratech, so you play this instead of like Deep Prison. And you don't care if they have like, you're like, I need to remove an established threat. It's like summon a guy and Shrink over it, or a Book over it, or something like that, or Econ it, or anything like that. You have like outs to guys that have already hit the board. And then the last 2 trap cards, TT and Solemn Judgment. Extra deck. Like I said, it doesn't really matter. You just these. This is pretty much the extra deck. You're not gonna go into it very often. You just need something for like when you econ a tuner, and that 1 in every like 100 games that it happens. So Armory Arm, Catastor. It's funny that they're machines. Android, Goyo, Brio, Uruquizas. I debated between this and like Urbellum, but like it doesn't really matter that much. Black Rose, Ancient Fairy Dragon. The only reason we're doing that, I am citing Zombie World, so if they have a field spell, you can technically search it. Stardust, Colossal, Thought Ruler, and Mist Wurm. You can play Red Dragon if you want, if you think you're gonna like steal level 1 and make it with Fortress. It's not that big of a deal. Side deck, a 2nd copy of Warrior Lady. Again, it's searchable. I like searchable removal. Being able to like access this with your toolbox, and then it's really good against Vayu, being able to banish their guy. It's good against Amaryllis, banish their guy, all that good stuff. This card's also good against Vayu. 2 copies of Kycoo. I just think this card's good in general. Like, this is like the best side deck monster in the format. 1 Crow. I was playing 2, but I decided to not play 2 and to play the 2nd Warrior Lady, and you'll kind of see why. Both this and the Warrior Lady technically do conflict with the other cards, but I think it just Warrior Lady is just better because you can toolbox into it when you need it, and when you don't need it, you go get something else. 2 Cyber Dragons. This is a machine deck. I mean, it's a light machine. It works with your Eltanins. It works with your Fortress, and again, you just got to be careful when you put it on the board. 2 Thunder Kings. I like side decking Thunder Kings against Blackwings, especially when you play Honest, because you can support it over their Kalutes and stuff. So, yeah, I like Thunder King. I did mention the Zombie Worlds previously. It's good against Amaryllis. With the new Frog variants, though, I don't think this card's just not good against them. They're, like, not doing a lot of tributing or anything like that, so I just don't think this card is that important. But it protects you from Chimeratech because all your guys become zombies. That's, like, the important thing. So It's iffy if you want to side it. I've decided to include it just because I had it before, and it's worked in the past when you want to lean more into the Machina package and make sure like that's like your win con. 2 copies of Dust Tornado. Again, it's good against Black Wings. They don't want to see their Whirlwind destroyed. 2 Iron Wall. So this is the card I was like, you don't want crows or whatever. Yeah, again, like I put in the Warrior Lady, but then you just like hold the Warrior Lady. You could say the same thing about holding the crow, but at least the Warrior Lady can do something when you summon it. Like it can still attack, it can still be damage, you can still use it with Honest and Shrink and all that stuff. They just kind of have to Iron Wall you to play the game. You can protect yourself from Caius, D-Prison, as well as the Vayu stuff, so I just think Iron Wall is really good. And you can preemptively flip it for Bottomless, which is really important. And if you preemptively flip it, you also turn off Allure. So, yeah. And the last card, 1 Transmigration Prophecy. Again, this works under Iron Wall, and Crow doesn't, so that's why I like this card. And it puts back both Treeborn Frogs, which is kind of cool. So that's really important. And you can technically like target your own stuff if you need to. If there's only like 1 card you want to get, and it's like, I would love to draw Honest again. Let's put it back. So yeah. And Honest, another thing, you can summon it off Angel, bounce it to your hand, so you can get to it significantly faster. Angel kind of facilitates a lot of that stuff. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of the deck. Thanks for tuning in for all the different jank videos that we've done throughout this week. I really appreciate the support. Be sure to like and subscribe for more retro format content, and thanks for watching, guys.